This is one-on-one session with the ForumIAS founder and director Ayush Sinha. In this session, students are asked questions to test their preparedness for the personality test. One-on-one sessions are not mock panel sessions.
Chandana?
Yes.
Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes.
Alright. So, Chandana, when is the date of your interview?
May 16th, sir.
May 16th. Alright. Chandana, can you briefly tell me something about yourself?
Yes. So, my name is Chandana Jahnavi. I hail from the city of Hyderabad in Telangana, sir. I have done my schooling from Bhartiya Vidya Bhavan, engineering from BIT Mesra, and management from IIM Indore, sir. Post that, I worked in the private sector for 14 months. And through UPSC CSE 2020, I have been recommended to Indian Corporate Law Service. I am currently undergoing training, sir. Apart from that, my hobbies include practicing the basics of Carnatic music and taking part in certain reading challenges.
Chandana, I see that you are an engineer from VIT Mesra, so Jharkhand, from Hyderabad to Jharkhand and then to IIM?
Indore, sir.
Indore. So that is Madhya Pradesh. So you have been going through one state and another. You stayed in Ranchi,
Yes.
right? What is the few differences, cultural differences that you found in Hyderabad versus let's say in Ranchi?
Sir, certain differences that I found between both the cities are, one, with respect to economy of the places, sir. So Hyderabad is a service sector oriented city, whereas a similar thing in Ranchi is into manufacturing, mining and so on, where a lot of companies like SAIL have their headquarters. Second thing about culture that I find distinctive is that Ranchi also has a lot of tribal museums and tribal places of worship in comparison to Hyderabad, which is more urban in nature. But keeping these differences aside, I believe that both the cities represent the spirit of unity and diversity.
Right. So did you have some tribal friends from in Jharkhand?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what is the difference in the observable differences that you felt, among the tribals of central India versus the tribals of the six scheduled states? Let's try recalling some of your friends who were tribals from the fifth scheduled states versus six scheduled states. What some differences did you observe?
Sorry, sir, I've actually never thought about it that way with respect to my friends, but I will go back and
I'll
analyze
just give you
this.
something. Alright, so among the tribal friends of fifth schedule or tribals of fifth schedule versus tribals of sixth schedule, who do you consider are more prosperous?
So based on my limited observation, I believe people who were coming in from the sixth schedule were a little more prosperous in comparison to us.
Which among these two, who were less confident about their social cultural practices and who were very proud of their social cultural practices or their tribal identity?
Sir, based on again my limited observation, I believe that be it their language or culture and so on, people who were coming in from the sixth schedule states, they were a little more confident and had a better understanding of the same. That is my limited observation, sir. I'll have to think a little more on it.
No, your observations are very fair, Chandana. What is the reason? Why fifth scheduled states have tribals of fifth scheduled states have not gotten their due while sixth scheduled states they have done quite well? What is the reason?
Sir, I wouldn't know the exact reason, but I would want to attribute it to one thing, that the constitutional status that has been provided through sixth schedule has provided more autonomy to the tribal councils with respect to their land and culture and so on. This autonomy reflects probably in the way that they take forward their culture.
Anything else? Some policies of the state post-independence or even pre-independence?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recollect in the moment, but I will read a little more on it.
Who do you think have been more exploited? Can it boil down to that?
Sir, exploitation has gone on in both the arenas, but comparatively, I believe that
No,
Central
there
India.
is something that would prevent some sort of exploitation in the 6 scheduled states or the northeastern states?
So the geography of the area in
And
comparative
the British policy of
um,
permit system?
permits. Yes.
Very good. Chandana, so you lived in Hyderabad.
Yes.
What are some good things about Hyderabad?
Sir, considering that to be my home state, I believe everything is good about the city. But that being said, I think one thing that stands out about my city is unity in diversity and the cultural aspects of it. The second is with respect to the rich cuisine that Hyderabad offers, be it the Hyderabadi biryani or Hyderabadi halim. The third is with respect to architectural places in and around Hyderabad, be it the Charminar or the Salarjung Museum and so on, which are very important places for one to visit and understand the city's rich history.
So you are a chemical engineer.
Yes.
Tell me, what chemical do you use for cloud seeding?
Sir, I'm very sorry, I'm not able to recollect in the moment.
Right. Now, what is your opinion on same-sex marriages? Should we recognize and legalize it like a regular marriage?
Sir, in my personal opinion, I believe that same-sex marriages should also have the legal protection in line with our constitutional values guaranteed under Article 21 of right to life with dignity. But that being said, legalizing it and bringing a law is the prerogative of the legislature, which must follow the specified route.
All right. So I'm not asking whether judiciary is supposed to bring or not. So are you feeling that we need to recognize, the parliament needs to recognize same-sex marriages and go ahead with it, recognizing them as regular marriages?
Sir, I'm of the opinion that that they should consider the grievances that the community is raising with respect to marriages and why they believe that a legal route will help them live that life with dignity, and then take forward the issue of them having a similar status like a heterosexual marriage and raise children and so on. So in that prerogative, yes, that the legislator must consider the problems of the community.
You've been serving in the Indian Corporate Law Service. What are some of the biggest challenges that companies face when they try to register their company's name? Or what are the guidelines for it?
So under the company incorporation rules, there are specific guidelines about how the name of a company must be. That the name of the company must be very distinct from what the others in that specific sector are having. It should not have any indications with respect to a government or an embassy or so on that are public in nature. Third is with respect to how the name.
Chandana, you don't have to rush at all, bacha. And all bilkul aaram se bol. Yes, you are correct.
Should not have a phonetically similar name with a company that is already in the public domain, and it must make disclosures. For example, that if a company is NBFC, it must very specifically mention its name. Similarly, for a company that is a charity or a foundation, that specifically comes in the name of the company and so on. So to streamline this, there is a form called the RUN form where different rules are provided, and the company can try and test the name before it applies for the application of that name to the Registrar of Companies.
Chandana, you have also done studies in management.
Yes.
Tell me, what are some functions of management? What functions does management perform?
Sir, the functional view of management broadly outlines management into planning, organizing, command and control, sir. Various functions,
One C, are you forgetting, Chandana?
planning, organizing,
Command and control, something that comes in between, where you have too many departments and somebody needs to
coordinates. Coordination, if I'm not wrong. I will again check on this. I'm very sorry, sir.
Who gave this principle, these functions of management? POCCC.
Sir, Henry Fayol, to what I remember, but I'll again revise the
That's
concepts.
correct. That is the correct answer. Chandana, so you are already serving in the corporate law service.
Yes.
We often hear these terms like, double balance sheet problem and triple balance sheet problem. What is the triple balance sheet problem?
So, triple balance sheet problem indicates the problem that occurs between a company, a banking institution, and an NBFC, non-banking financial institution. So, with respect to this, a company that is showing liabilities is written on the asset side on the bank's balance sheet, and the same thing is again routed through an NBFC to that company. So there are 3 levels of problems. So if one entity here, be it a company, falls in an issue, the same reflects on the balance sheets of the other two entities, the NBFC, and which is again borrowing from a bank.
Right. Chandana, we came up with the PM Mitra scheme, mega textile parks. What is the problem we are trying to solve with these mega textile parks?
Sir, I can think of two reasons. One is with respect to scale of manufacturing, with respect to textile parks, the scale of providing infrastructure and so on. And the Mitra Park is trying to see plug-and-play infrastructure where different textiles manufacturing can happen seamlessly. The second is environmental problems. So textiles brings forward the need for electricity, water, and having such a scale of park ensures that we optimally utilize water and electricity resources.
Chandana, why do you want to? You're already in corporate law service. Why you're so unhappy here? You still want to go for the IAS?
Sir, I would first want to underline that I am not unhappy, sir. I'm very happy with the opportunities that the service has given me. But that being said, I believe that the Indian Administrative Service will provide me the opportunities that I am looking for, be it with the quality of work and the diversity of work and it offers. And the second is with respect to the public interface and the scope of doing work that gives me innate satisfaction, sir.
All right, Chandana, your interview is over.
Yes. Thank you, sir.